What's going on? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Room, where having a healthy mind is priority, man. I don't really need to introduce myself, but we both know I will. I am your host, the highly humble. Don't forget to sprinkle a little bit of that amazingness, man. I am Desmond Bonet. I'm not going to be too long with it. Not going to hold you guys for too long, man. Before we jump into this episode, I want to say thank you to Miss Stephanie Brodie, a.k.a. For Self Motivation Fitness, man. She is the CEO of her own fitness company and is also a self-published author, man. The link will be down in the description below. She has a book out right now titled Conversations in My Head. I'm actually in the middle of reading the book right now. You hear me, in the episode tell her that I'll review this in another episode, but that's neither here nor there, man. The Conversations in My Head. Hopefully you guys can see it. If you can't see it, I'll be sure to, place the image there. The description will be down below so you guys can order and buy the book as well, man. Just to give you guys some context, man, this episode is about the importance of the mental when it comes to the fitness world. A lot of people just, want to get a six-pack. They want to look amazing, but don't really understand the mental strength that it takes to stay consistent and, really, really obtain everything that you're trying to obtain, man. I didn't really want to stop her and start over. I didn't want to do no weird edits. The conversation was super genuine. We just jumped right into it. So, just so you guys aren't lost, man, the first conversation we had was basically her background, what got her to get into the fitness world and the transition to where she is now, man. So, without further ado, let's jump into this episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Listen, I know. I'm becoming like a typical YouTuber, but if I want to grow, this is what we got to do. This what we got to do. If y'all mess with me like I mess with y'all, then we going to help each other out. You understand? You going to hit that like, and you going to hit that notification bell. You going to write me a nice comment, and we going to keep this thing going, man. I'm doing some positive things in the world. Let's keep this thing going, man. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get to the episode.
I thought I was fine. I didn't realize that I was a burger and a fry away until, of course, years later. I was like, oh, ain't nobody told me I was a burger fry away. Nobody wasn't going to let me know. Okay. But it actually changed my life because all of that stuff that I was carrying from childhood, teen, young adult, it was all sitting there. And as I started to work out, I just became a lighter person. So honestly, I fell in love with the fact that I was changing and that it was making me independent in my life for the first time. And what I mean by that is I didn't need anybody to do it. It was the first thing that I don't need anybody to do it. I would just get up and go out because I just did basic stuff. I just went to a high school in the area and went to the track. And I would stay out there for hours just doing stuff. But I felt so good. It became a release to me. Okay. And that's really how it happened. That's the beginning of my fitness journey. And that was 10 years ago. I was in my 20s when this happened. So as I realized, man, I got into it to just look a little better. Here I am feeling better. So that became infectious. Everybody around me started noticing like this lighter me. They're like, girl, what's going on with you? You seem just way better, way happier. I'm like, I can't explain it. I just feel like I'm just letting stress go. I'm just letting things go. And that's what attracted people to me, because everybody already knew me as an artist. So now they didn't know this person that I was just evolving into. So it was like, oh, can you train me? Can you train me? I never intended to be a trainer. I never thought I would have my own fitness company. I never thought I would write a book. about the conversations in my head, which is completely mental, right? But just doing something that I thought was for my physical, God put it in my path to actually be a healing process for me. And it has been. You know what I mean? And it actually is way more mental for me than it is physical, because I've changed. I've done so much stuff with my body now at this stage because I fell in love with the education part of it. And I just love how the body changes. If you feed it the right things, if you give it the right things, it'll just do all this good stuff for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's now. But it all started because I became independent for the first time, doing something that had no idea that it would change my life. And from ever since then, I dedicated to spread it as much as I can. If I can help change somebody's life, I do it. Now, most people come in for the physical because that's the day that we living in. Everybody want to look good first.
Yeah.
Right? Because we wasn't taught to feel good first. Yeah. It's all about this. When you first look at a person, you're looking, you see, you can't look inside of their souls. So we're always worried about what this look like. You know what I'm saying? But what you feel inside comes out. It comes out. So I try to teach everybody that I touch, it starts here. It's all about what you believe and what you think about yourself. Everything else you can reach, And doing this, I've come across so many unhealthy people mentally. So many broken people mentally, and coming from a broken place. Coming from a broken girl, to a broken young woman, to a just broken in so many levels, broken in every way, to having to go all the way back to the beginning and recover and heal and face and accept and accountability. Like, fitness made me have to dig deep within myself. You know what I'm saying? So mental, you're absolutely right. And that's why I tell a lot of people, okay, you having a physical goal that might get you off the couch. It might get you off the sofa when you're starting to feel bad. Because that food, what you put in is what it's going to give you. If you're putting in trash, it's going to make you feel like trash. Mm-hmm. If you're not doing anything positive, you're going to be negative. If you're not watching positive things, reading positive things, you're going to be what you're putting in. Same thing, what you watch, what you see, who you're around, all of that stuff matters. All of that stuff plays within us. All of it has an influence. We are influenced by every single thing we give our time to.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? We are. We just are. And as you learn how to, navigate through things, situations, to where they don't have a deep impact on you. But just as human beings and just emotional people, we're influenced all the time.
Get affected every day. All right, so first off, I want to say that's crazy. That's crazy for me, just because everybody has like a certain idea in their head when it comes to, I guess, personal trainers, and you never really hear them speak about the other side, which is the mental.
Yeah.
And I'm not the most. I'm into fitness for personal reasons, but I'm not like all the way in it like somebody else. But for me, that was the crazy struggle, and even now it's still a little bit of a struggle. Is getting over the mental hump. Just to give a small example, just going through reps and you feeling like you want to stop, your arm it's a wrap, and it's just the strength to keep that going. And nobody really breaks down and gives you the importance of being mentally strong in order, to keep that going. So just to go back again, to the beginning, when you first started, what was that like for you? Like, was it?
I didn't have an influence at that time. I've always been kind of semi-active, right? I just kind of went to the track because I'm an outdoor person. I just did the basics, right? And I just like ran around the track. Then I'm a person, I call myself that I have self-diagnosed ADHD. I say that all the time. I'm self-diagnosed because I cannot spend too much time, doing one thing. So when I'm running around the track and I'm getting ideas, okay, well, let me run around the grass. It's a baseball field. Let me run around so I just started making stuff up when I first started, and I would just do it until I was tired. So once I was tired, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go home. Because I was out there by myself. You know, sometimes I would get people out there, some friends or whatever, but they weren't hanging out in the sun as long as I would, because I'll be out there singing, writing, crying, praying, you know, it was nobody out there. So when I went out there, it turned into this whole little situation for me and however I was feeling. So if I went out there and I had a whole lot going on inside my mind, I was feeling a whole lot, then I was out there until I felt better. You know, so I never thought, I didn't think about it like rep wise, or when I got tired, I'm like, I'm over this, I'm ready to go eat now, and I'll leave. I just go. Now at the level that I'm at, of course, you know, my why, I always do everything with a purpose. So if I'm working out with a purpose. So if I'm training a specific muscle group, I'm doing it for a purpose. So if I say that I need to do 4 sets of 30, then I'm not going to stop until I'm done 4 sets of 30. And sometimes that may take me a little longer if I'm tired, if I don't want to do it. And what I do is, and my people will tell you, you know, I'm a big community girl. I get people involved when it's stuff I don't want to do, you know. So if I know that I'm struggling, I call somebody else that love it too, that can come help me get through, you know. If I don't want to clean up my house, I'll invite my mom over. Mom, won't you just come over? Because I know before she get there, I'm like, oh, I got to get up and clean up. I got to clean up. So for me, when I don't feel like it, I know how to say, hey, I need you to help me out today. Sometimes I might not even say to you, I need you to help me out. I might say, hey, why don't you come on over? I created a little workout I wanted to do the whole time. I need you just as much as you think you need me. You know what I'm saying? So I learned how to get help from the people around me when I don't want to do it. That's my way.
What advice would you have for somebody who might struggle in that area with even asking somebody for help? Because for me, you know, speaking personally, for me, that was one of my struggles as well. It was hard for me to be self-motivated, but it was also hard for me to kind of tell somebody, like, you know, I kind of need you for the energy. So, like, what advice would you have for somebody that struggles with that?
For one, that's the name of my business, for self-motivation. That's the name of my business. That's why I named it. Because as I was going through my journey, I was giving it to myself. So for one, it has to start off with why you want to do what you want to do. You have to make the connection. You have to make the connection first. So my advice to anybody would be to sit down and do your work on yourself. What is it that you want? What is it that's making you unhappy? What is it that you're struggling with? What is the actual struggle? You got to see it. You got to write it down. You got to really be able to see things to face it. And that's what's going on. Everybody knows they has problems, but what are your problems? What is it? What is the problem? You know, why don't you want to go? What is that? Like, break that down to where you can see it, and then you can start working through it. So I say always go back to the root problem. So my advice will be is find your root problems and start working at them one by one, and be patient with yourself. Be very patient with yourself. Everybody I meet is in a hurry. They're in a rush. I want this and I want it right now. And that's not how you got it. You didn't get that problem just like that. All of our problems started a long time ago. You know what I mean? And half of the problems that were put onto us started with our parents and their parents and their parents. Problems didn't just fall on us. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people can't identify what their problem is. So again, I would tell you to look in the mirror, look at yourself, and find out why you want to do what you want to do. Because once you know that, then you're going to start learning how to get help. And that's why a lot of people struggle with help, because they know they need help, but they don't know exactly what they need. And I was a person like that. I know I needed help, but I didn't really know what I needed. You know, I have a good friend. She, to this day, this is still my friend. She always called me and say, how can I help you? And I knew I needed help from her. But I say, you know, I don't even know how to answer that question, is what I would tell her. Now I know. When she called me, how can I help you, girl? This is exactly what I need. I'm trying to open this gym, and I got a few little situations I need to, you know, figure out. And I know what I need because I know what I want, and I figured out what's been holding me up. And that's everything. I mean, that analogy right there goes to everything. What is holding you up? What is really the problem? Are you lazy? Are you in pain? Did you get injured? Do you just don't have any motivation at all? That goes back to self-love, how you see yourself. How you looking at yourself? How do you view you? what the people around you, how have they played a part in how you feel about yourself? Because we'll let people put stuff on us so much that we start to believe it. We start to believe it. And then you don't even.
I was saying, it usually comes from the inner fears. They put their fears onto you, and
yeah. And then when you go and look back, you say, I really didn't have a problem with my nose or my hair. I really didn't have a problem with, but everybody else around you made it a problem. So you have to click into yourself first and figure out what you want. That would be my advice, because you cannot get help, and you won't know what help looks like, even if it was volunteered to you. If I offered you help and you don't know what that looks like, you're not going to take it from me, because you don't really know what this looks like. And a lot of people think people are helping them, and it's not help. It's not help, So I think, before you decide to take any journey, you have to like really do that self-work.
I hope y'all listening, man. One of my favorite things, when I sit down with people, whether it's in person or over Zoom, is I get to learn. It's a reason why I don't. It's a reason why I wait till we're on camera to have conversations. Because me personally, the way I do the show, I just wouldn't want to come, to the show and already have answers to questions. I like the fact that I get to learn at the same time you guys get to learn. So pay attention to every single word she's saying. I want to go back to everything that you mentioned earlier. I thought I did my research very well. I definitely gotta take a L. I didn't the book, and I have my notes right here in the book. I don't know how I missed that. I didn't get to write the book down, but I want to start from there because I feel like that's also a very, very important part of this episode. Not only are you an entrepreneur, not only is it a black owned business, and I want to make sure I say this to everybody that's tuned in. Not only is she just in fitness, but she works with each and every one of her clients through her various fitness programs. I witnessed a lot of personal trainers. I even had a few, and a lot of people aren't. What's the best way to say this? They aren't too, I guess, for lack of a better term, too caring. And I've never been around you in person, but just observing, from Instagram, I'll make sure that that's down below for Self Motivation Fitness. You'll be able to follow up as far as after this episode, and even inquire in the many services that she provides. From what I see on your Instagram, you're very interactive with the people that you help, whether it's on Zoom and your personality just shining through and you're keeping it upbeat. Because I tell people all the time, I'm boring. I'm naturally just kind of low energy. So this is me excited right now,
Yeah.
So the fact that I know it takes a lot to keep people engaged, especially on a device. So I wanted to touch on that because not only is it's important, the fact that it's a form of positivity, but how hard is it for you to kind of keep that going? Because like I said, you see many personal trainers, but they don't really keep that like that. I guess a form of relationship.
I created what doesn't exist. Everything in my world, I've created it. And you're right. I didn't see it, so I created it. When you come to my team, it's a community. The first thing I do is tell you got to download an app and get with my team, because it's more them than it is in me. It's just one me. But if I can be infectious to everybody in my team, then it's all of us. We're all like-minded. We're all the same. We're all there to help each other. They think that I'm just there to help them. They help me out a lot. They help me out a lot because they feed my dream. They feed this positivity. They feed the energy, and I do it back. I'm like they hype man, but I love what I do. See, the thing is, I don't feel like I'm working at all because I love what I do. It trips people out. I'm up at 2 a.m. I'm in bed. I'm doing bodybuilding prep right now. And my day is crazy. Like my day is so crazy, but I'm the same girl from 2 to 8 because it's not like
what time do you sleep?
I go to sleep early. So hopefully sometimes I get home a little before 8. The latest I'm in the bed is about 8 o'clock. I'm like in the bed at 8 o'clock. If I'm at home any later than that, then I'm just like struggling the next day, but I make it. I try to be in the bed as early as possible. I try to make my day as early as possible. And now that I'm so busy, I'm learning how to scale back a little bit. So, I'm scaling it because I have some things I'm working on. So I got to grind right now. But again, I'm living out my dream, and it feels good to be in control um, of my passion. But it feels good to surrender to God because he gives me this every day, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to get up every day and have this strength and love what I do. And I always ask God to, work on me, heal me, so that way I'm available for everybody else. So when I get to everybody else, I've done my work. I've prayed. I had to journal. I cry. Whatever I go through, I deal with myself first. I get up and deal with it first before anything else. I give all praises, and I ask God to look over my day as I'm getting with all these multiple personalities. And all I do is feed them positivity. That's it. When they get with me, we got a mission. They came to me with a goal, so we work on the goal. It's hard for me to manage with everybody that I deal with because I deal with me first, and I know what they came to me for. And I try to keep everybody on track of what we're doing. We're trying to build a healthy lifestyle mentally and physically through consistency, through action, and I try to teach them these things that not while they just stay with me, because anything can happen to me. So I try to be a teacher by example. I try to be a leader by example, but I share everything I know, so that it can carry on. I want you to teach your kids what I taught you, so your kids can teach their friends, and it can just keep going on, because knowledge is power. When you know better, you do better. It's true, but it's through action. And that's the problem. Everybody want to say it, but your words don't hold anything if you don't do anything. So it's not hard for me to balance doing what I do, because I love what I do. It's fulfilling. It's very fulfilling. I think just learning to scale back. I can't say yes to everything. You know what I mean? And I have to get sleep, and I have to do everything I teach everybody else. And that is like the hardest part sometimes, because I'm a sucker. I say yes to everything. So I'm learning to still say yes, because that's what I want to do, but to scale back and make sure that I'm resting and that I have everything that I need for everybody else.
You definitely are a strong person. I thought The Rock was a little crazy with being up at 3, 4 every morning, but the fact that you make it 2 a.m. every day,
Every day.
it's insane. One of the personal questions I always wanted to ask, any personal trainer, have you ever had a client that I guess was kind of like a little too much for you, and you kind of had to drop them because you wasn't able to help them, whether they just wasn't ready mentally or
Actually, people drop themselves. They'll drop themselves. For me, I like to keep the lines clear. This is what I can do. And for me, I'll do anything to help somebody that want to help themselves. I will really do that. I go to the grocery store with people. I go to the market with people. I will come to your house and meal prep with you if I had to. I do a lot for people. Like, if you want to help yourself and I have the knowledge, I truly will help anybody that I see has that fire. But I will not chase adults, and I don't do that. So when I see that people want to play games or they want me to care about it more than them, I don't do that. For self-motivation. All I need you to do is wake up and get to me. When you get to me, I got you. But you got to get up, and I cannot be your alarm clock every day. That's not real life. You're not going to have mommy around to get you out of bed, iron your clothes. That ain't happening. So I keep it 100 with my girls or my guys that come in. I let them know. Off the break, I let them know. I got your back, but you got to have your back first. You know what I mean? I can't have your back more than you. So that helps me eliminate all the fluff. People, they're not going to show up a lot. They're going to fall off a lot. What I do is I just be available when they do pick it up, because it's not an easy journey. And a lot of people come in thinking that it's just going to happen overnight, and it's not. Mm-hmm. A lot of people come in thinking they're going to change their bad habits that they done had for 100 years in 1 week. No, it's not. So that's why I'm a licensed nutritionist. I'm a DNA coach. I'm a master trainer because I had to cover all the way. That way I teach people nutrition, but I scale you in. All right, that's what I want you to cut first.
She's an expert, ladies and gentlemen. She's an
Yes, definitely. And I had to because I had to understand it because everybody's an individual. And as being a trainer, it's 3 types of trainers. It's a trainer that's educated. It's a trainer that trains through experience, what they've done to themselves, what they've done to others. And then it's copy trainers that just copy everything that they see. I'll never be that third trainer, but I am a mix of 2 because I will do everything that I practice. I will make sure that it works. Any program that I do, I run a trial for 3 months first, and I'm educated. I go and I learn. I learn all different types of individuality, genetics. When it comes to training, it's your individual. So I can't give everybody the same thing. So I'm very skilled at what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. And I want to give you what you want. You say you want this, I'm trying to help you get there. Because when you win, I win, So yeah, I've had some difficult clients, but they have eliminated themselves. And I always leave the door open for them to return because it's a self journey. And I've learned not to judge. I've learned to be compassionate and have empathy. And I've learned to understand. And I've learned to seek understanding. I don't understand everybody, but I've learned to continue constant effort to understand. Just like in my relationship, our relationship works. It's beautiful. It's flourishing because we're always trying to understand. It's not perfect, but because we want to understand, it works. Same thing with my clients. When they don't show up for weeks and weeks and weeks, when they come back, it ain't It's like, let's work. You ready? Let's get to it. Because I want you to know that it's okay. I've been there, done that we can get past anything, but you got to want it. Desire, constant effort, and ability. Those 3 things they got to be knotted in your journey. Every journey. Every journey. And I always ask my girls, what's the most important? Everybody say constant effort, but it's not. It's desire. You got to have desire with everything, with every dream, with anything you want to do. You got to have desire. You have to be convicted to that journey, that mission, that passion. You have to want it so bad.
Do you ever have a moment where you're not super motivated to do what you do?
Never.
Never?
Never.
That's amazing.
Never. I love what I do. I just want to do it on my terms. I have times where I'm discouraged because I'm working so hard and I don't feel like I'm where I should be, because that's what we do as humans. We think we're supposed to be further than where we are. But in God's eyes, we are exactly where we need to be. So I always check myself and say, I'm exactly where I need to be, doing exactly what I need to do. And I'll get there when I get there. So me just working on myself always, not letting this get ahead of me because I overthink things. I think I'm doing so much, but I know what's for me is for me. You know what I mean? And it's okay to be ambitious because I am ambitious. Mm-hmm. But I'm learning to enjoy my journey. I'm happy. I love what I do. I've come a long way. I'm not that girl. That I was. You know what I mean? And I mean, that was a lot of girls,
I want you to stay right there for just a second. That you just said something that was super, super important. Loving the journey. If you were to meet the woman that you said you started about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You now, if you were in front of the woman who started off 10 years ago, what advice would you have for her?
I would tell her that everything she needs is already inside her. Everything, every single thing she's ever needed, she's had already. Just didn't know it, and when you don't have that upbringing or those people around you to pour it, that can see, it's some people you're going to meet in your life that's going to see some things you can't see. And they're going to feed it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have that. But I'm that woman now, and I get to see that in people, and I feed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like the hype man. Like, I get to see people, and I'm going to pump you up because I know what it's like to be full of potential and have nobody see you. You know what I mean? Nobody, just not feeling just not feeling encouraged, just not feeling. I just didn't have that, whatever that is. I can't get it out, but I know you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. And if I was in front of that girl, that's all I would tell her, because that's all I needed to know. I know it now. I had to learn. I had to learn. I couldn't learn. I did not learn that from a human. I learned that from going back to the Bible, connecting spiritually, because I've always had that connection spiritually. That's my upbringing. But I had my own personal little spiritual thing. I ain't had to go inside a church to get it. It's all around me. When I'm by myself, it's the most intimate for me. I had to go back there and I had to seek some answers, ask all tough questions, and I had to endure. I had to admit. I had to be accountable. I had to forgive. I had to let it go. I had to let it go. And that girl is still here. I'm still on fire. I'm still all the characteristics that girl had at 23, because I'm 34. So it was right before I got these when I was 23. So this is how I keep my, I could keep up with my fitness journey, because I got into fitness the year I got these. I was 23 years old.
Got you.
And that's when I got into it. And I've been into it ever since. So it's been about 11 years. I had all the same characteristics. I can identify with myself then. I just didn't have this healing part. I ain't had that just all that was on me. I had so much on me, It's like being the best. Imagine being the fastest runner in the world, but then carrying like a car on your back. You like, I know I'm fast if I just put this car down. You know what I mean? So that's what it was like coming up. I had all this weight on me. So I just basically I learned like taking the tire off, and then the door handles. And that's what my journey has been. The whole car didn't come off at once. It's all gone off me now.
Piece by piece.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, man, the connection with accountability and spirituality, that clears you here. And once this is freed up from all that junk, oh my goodness, it's like putting on glasses after not being able to see.
Everything
you like
clear.
And guess what? Then you attract everything you've ever needed. God puts it right there. Boom. Oh, you needed friends, real friends? Boom, here they go. I ain't had to do a thing. And oh my God, things that just fell in my life over the years. I look back, I don't even count friends. I've never said to myself, no, knew this or nothing. I just wanted to be me around anybody I was around and never had to question it. I never wanted pain to dim who I was. I never wanted, because I've been hurt 1,000 times, to dim me from still wanting to talk to everybody I see and all this stuff that I am. I didn't want to not be me because of everything. So God helped me, and he placed everything in my life that I needed. And guess what? I still was able to be me 100%.
That's dope.
Yeah, it changes.
Dope,
when this changes, when that negative thinking changes, that negative filter, because that's what I call it. Not what I call it. A friend of mine, a client of mine actually, she said that a negative filter, and it stuck with me for years. She said that, and she was right. People have negative filters. It's when they automatically think negative about something. Once that's gone.
I used to be one of those, and it took it took some real work to have to break that.
I like to think with positive intent. I like to think that you're gonna do right by me. I like to think that your intention is good for me. I like to think that about everybody in every situation until I'm shown otherwise, not told otherwise, shown otherwise, because a person cannot hide. They can't hide for long. So whatever it is going to come out,
I tell people all the time, character is one of them things that you could try to hide, but eventually your true character comes out.
It's going to come out. Nobody has to tell you anything. It's going to come out.
Before I even get to my last important question, How long have you had the fitness company? Like how many years has?
Oh, 4 years.
4 years.
It's been on
Um,
paper for 4 years.
so just let give kind of the information behind that. Let everybody know whether you do remote or non-remote in
Yeah.
person, just in case anybody tuning in right now want to get into that fitness journey. That way they can know.
So if you're in the DMV area, then you can just go to my website for smfit.com. And it'll break down everything for smfit.com. It's just abbreviation for self-motivation fitness. And so I do that. I do my own thing. And I also work at Fitness Evolution in Laurel. That's a big facility. I love it there. I have a new class I'm about to drop there. I love classes. So yeah, I wrote a book, The Conversations in My Head, that's available Audible, Kindle, and Amazon. So that's available. If you're in the DMV area, I have plenty copies. One day, all my copies are going to be gone. But I have plenty. The Conversations in My Head.
Search for it right now.
Yes, you'll find it. The Audible's amazing because you get to hear me tell the stories. But the book,
You narrated yourself.
I did it myself. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm an artist. I released 3 albums in my lifetime independently. Yeah, so I definitely had to go in and do my own Audible. I felt like it was only right. It's so funny because the producer had to be like, Stephanie, you are not rapping. Like, you have to slow it down. It was so funny doing my own Audible. So yeah, it was the book, writing my own book, self-published it through my brother's company. So we kept it all in. We did go with Amazon because Amazon, you want people to have access all over the world. You don't want to limit yourself. So we did go with them for distribution.
It's to show
And
you guys. It's to show you guys when I say support, I mean it, and I'm not just talking, man. Make sure just got it. Gonna listen to it
yes,
today.
yes. And I know you'll love it. You're gonna find some of those pieces, and like this is so many people hit me up and say, I asked them, what's one word you got to describe my book? They say relatable. That's the one word I get all the time. I just wrote what was real. The conversation in my head, I did a 90-day fast. And within that 90 days, I wrote about everything that I experienced during that time, real conversations I had in the gym, in my head, and with my family, with my friends. So it's heavy content. Yes, it is deep. It's no fluff. But it was more so about, it was to motivate people. It was to make you ask yourself a lot of things. It was really to motivate and inspire. And I wrote it in 90 days, and I printed it up. I sent it to my brother and I said, I'm done. Let's put it out. And it was just like that. I didn't stall on it or nothing. So a lot of people out here thinking that they got to go spend $5,000 to get their book out. Write your book up. Call whoever in your family that can write and type and grammatically correct or whatever, and get it together and get it out and get it done. That's what I did. 90 days.
I'm gonna have the link down below as well as her IG and her website. That way you guys can get caught up with everything. You kind of this whole conversation was, and I guess you could say conversation because I just stood quiet and just kind of soaked everything and kind of just I'm sitting here and I'm learning more and more about you. How important is mental health to you specifically when it comes to the fitness part of life?
It's key. It's key. The physical is just a rental. Your soul will carry on. The impact you have will carry on. If you're unhealthy mentally, that will take you out faster than anything. Self-destruction, unhappiness. When we have all of this curating in us, it causes us to depend on other things. We become codependent on things that's going to make us feel better. And that's what that can be anything from people to things, you know? So when you clear your mental, or when you really dig deep and you're really seeking peace, because not to have peace in your mind is destruction. It's a path of destruction, to be at war inside your brain, to be conflicted all the time. That will take you out. It's a sickness. We owe it to ourselves to find peace. We owe it to ourselves to get closure. right? We owe it to ourselves to have healthy friendships, healthy relationships, healthy jobs. Fitness is something that's going to help you add years to your life. You could just do 30 minutes a day. You ain't got to go out here and be intense. Nobody said you got to go be a body lifter. And we got to stop comparing ourselves to people that we don't even know. Everybody want to make fitness what it is. Now, all of a sudden, you got to have a six-pack. Mm-hmm. Is your heart strong? Are you not on high cholesterol, diabetes, blood pressure? Can you walk up the steps? Can you get out the bed? Can you sit on the toilet? You're healthy. Are you healthy mentally? Are you free? You know, like these are the things when it comes to fitness. This is what I teach my people. The things that are going to help you live longer. I got a 90-year-old that I see. I want to make sure that she can get out that bed, that she can walk around her own house and she's not a hostage in her own home. You know, people got to understand, like, we can live long. That's on us. Now, we don't have no control on when we die or when we go. That ain't on us. But what can you do while you living? Because every day that you get up, right, you have a choice to be better than the day before, a choice to stay the same and do nothing. But every day I send out something mental for my team. Every day I send out a mental tip. Even on my social media, it's always something for you to think about. It's always something for me to think about. I always start my day tapping into my spirit. Is anything festering up in there? Am I good? Self-check, you know? I'm good. So I just keep it moving. I have great days, you know, and I tap into the days that are not so great. It's like we don't want to face ourselves. We don't want to face what's really going on. And that's going to kill us. That's going to kill us. That internal suffering is it's going to suffocate us and take us out. So you owe it to yourself to mentally find peace, closure, forgiveness. You know, you owe it to yourself to be honest. We've gotten so used to hiding that we forget that we done created something that it's not. Mm-hmm. We get so used to feeding ourselves bullshit, we start to believe it. Fool everybody else if you want. But when you look in the mirror, you got to bring it straight with yourself. You cannot be afraid of that truth. And that's what's going on. We living behind computers and phones, and we ain't talking to our mamas, and you know, some things you gotta work through. I'm not saying not of that, but we spending all our time hiding here, but when we got real situations that we should be dealing with, you know. So mental health to me is key, and I teach that straight on, and sometimes I don't teach it straight on. It's all about who I'm dealing with. Some people can't meet me right here and have this conversation. They're not there yet. Some people just gonna go right over their heads. What's she talking about? What's she talking about? I don't know what she's talking about. Some people will be like, I got it. I'm with you. I'm right there. And see, I hang with them all. I got it. I'm cool with everybody. I'm cool with the people that understand, that don't understand, that's trying to understand. Because I'm gonna meet you where you at. Everybody is not in the same place at the same time. Don't mean they won't get there. But I ain't got to change because you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep spoon feeding you a little information. I know you can't take but so much. So I just give you a little bit. I'm going to give you some cake, and then I'm going to make sure that in that cake, it ain't had no sugar in it. But I ain't tell you that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I just learned how to teach people without putting me on to them. Just trying to give you some game, trying to help you out, trying to stop you from running into a brick wall. But I'm not going to put all this on you as you come in. So everybody come to me for their physical. But when they leave out, I guarantee you it's not a person you can meet in the last 10 years that has crossed my path and met me that will tell you any differently. They're going to tell you that I had a positive impact on them. And that is my word. In the last 10 years. Now, before that, oh, look now, you might hear some stories in the streets, okay? But look, I've been cleared. For 10 years, I made sure that if we meet, it matters. At least I make some impact, or I give you something that stick, or maybe it didn't stick then, but it came back. I got people that come back and be like, I never forgot the day we had this conversation in the grocery store on aisle 7. You know what I'm saying? So I really do try to be a meaningful person. I really do try to, watch what I say, mean what I say. I really do, because I really know that our culture needs help.
Very true. Very true. Um, Listen, amazing, amazing words spoken from you. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you because I'm damn near nobody that has reached out, and the fact that you said yes. Yeah, I want to thank you. I mean that, and I think everything that you said today, especially for me, made a lot of things as far as fitness goes very clear, and I'm sure it's gonna help a lot of you guys. And if you are looking to get into that journey, man, just take it serious and listen to everything she said. Accountability was one of the biggest things that stood out to me. A lot of people just don't take accountability, and when you're not ready for it, feels like you're getting attacked. And
You're defensive. You're like this. What? What? You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that. And I'm like, I'm only giving you what you asked for.
very true, man. You on the right track. I want to personally say, like I said, I haven't met you in person. Hopefully, one day I get to, but everything you're doing is amazing. You don't meet a lot of people that not only are in a certain field, but actually care about it. That's a big thing. People will do something just for the money, the glory, and what they're able to gain from it, but don't really care about everything that goes into it. So the fact that you actually take time to understand another human being mentally, it's difficult to try to understand someone on any level, but to understand someone mentally and to actively try to understand. For me personally, that's amazing. I've been somebody that's been, I guess, for lack of a better term, misunderstood my whole life. My demeanor comes off different. People think I'm mean or I'm always upset, and I'm just naturally calm. But if you have a conversation with me, I laugh all the time. You
They
know,
haven't gotten to know you. That's all.
and that was a big thing that stood out in everything you said, man. Once again, thank you. I appreciate you for stepping into the room for self motivation fitness. I'll have everything down below as far as her business, Instagram, the book. I'm gonna also, if you don't mind, with your permission, after I listen to the book, also give my review on it on another
Please
video.
go to Amazon and leave your review too.
I'll do that too, man. It's all about support. Anytime anybody is doing something positive and they're actively doing it every day for more than just the money game, to me, that's just, there's no way you can't respect that or even try to honor that, man. So once again, thank you. Um, Anything you want to leave the people with?
No, you're doing a phenomenal job. And thanks for reaching out to me. Listen, in life, as you go on your journey, you do exactly what you did. You just ask a question, what people want to say, yes or no. Why not for me? I'm on vacation. I had the time to have a conversation. And I like to talk anyway. I be like talking all day, every day. So you got with a talker. So hey, look, it worked out. Thank you.
I appreciate it, no problem. And thank you.
Good luck on your journey. You're phenomenal at this.